Hi everyone, welcome to School of Scarlet. I hope y'all are doing well. It's been a few days since I filmed my last video here on School of Scarlet, and I felt a little bit of a decline in energy. As y'all know, I usually film my videos based on my intuition, and I take inspired action to film those. But lately I haven't been feeling a whole lot of that, and it may just be that this is the time that's really busy, the holidays. We just wrapped up Thanksgiving here in the United States, and so now we're on to Christmas. It's a very busy time of the year for most people here, and so it's been that way for me as well. So I kind of want to talk to y'all about various things, not necessarily just the holidays, the feelings that we can feel at times where we feel low, where we feel we don't have the energy to keep going, when we feel like we can't take inspired action, when we feel like our creativity is dwindling. So what is going on in those times? It's really common, especially right now. I feel that a lot of people have come to me and shared that they really don't feel like going on with whatever they're doing. They're losing inspiration, they're losing creativity. I've also encountered people that have really talked to me about how this has been the hardest year of their lives. I've also encountered people that talk about how the spiritual awakening and different shifts that have happened for them is something that they wish had never happened. And this is because it really pushes us to a really uncomfortable point. And a lot of times we don't really realize that we're living kind of in this bubble. If you can imagine, I'm seeing like a little ball. And so we're like this little ball, and every so often our awareness gets a little bit expanded, and now we're in a wider ball, and we have to kind of get to know that space and what it's like, and it's uncomfortable, and it's sometimes distressing, and we don't like it. It's pushing us in different ways, or we just don't clearly know. We have confusion around what's happening, and that ball begins to expand and expand more, and it's more space that we have to explore, more space that we have to understand and get to know with. We have to let go of beliefs. We have to let go of different situations, people, so every time that we expand, it gives more space for us to have to get to know. And for a lot of us that are used to living a certain way, that can be quite distressing. So we can imagine that if we're going through this spiritual awakening or some sort of awareness that's being expanded, it's going to require us to really go into different areas of life that we've never gone in, explore different areas of ourselves that maybe we've never really been in touch with. And this can be uncomfortable, and at the same time, it takes energy. So what's happening is that our energy is kind of being siphoned really into ourselves in this case. It's nothing, that you have to worry about, but it really does require your energy. And it's okay to rest. It's okay to complain. It's okay to wish that things were a different way at times, because, it can be quite hard. So be gentle with yourself. Have no shame in whatever your feelings are, because the more that you're in touch with your feelings, the more that you're feeling whatever you're actually feeling, the more that you expand, the more that you get to know that space in a way that's truly real. When we resist, when we don't allow ourselves to feel the feelings of, okay, this is uncomfortable, or this is hard, then we are suppressing that, and we're never really getting to feel that, so we can't expand more. We're really in this protective mode. So I encourage you today that whatever you're feeling, go ahead and feel that. And whatever little bit of strength you have, use that to go forward or to do whatever it is that your heart desires. You only need a little bit of strength to move. So a lot of times we think we have to be in the highest vibration, or we have to be in the best moods, or we have to have, the perfect situation, or we have to look a certain way in order for us to move forward, and in order for us to expand into whatever it is that we want to do. We don't have to do that. We can really just kind of move with a little bit of strength that we have. So I encourage you today to just move with a little bit of strength that you have. For me, this past week has been a lot of things. Overall, it's been very good. Lots of love, lots of connecting, growing. But essentially, life throws a lot at you, right? The more that you do things, the more that you go out there and put yourself out there, the more that things come in your way that you have to then look at or deal with or fix, depending on what is happening in your reality. So I'll tell you that in my reality, it happens a lot that when I expand, I do encounter things that are hard. And so I know I'm not the only one. Comment down below if it's hard for you sometimes in this reality as you're expanding. Comment down below. It's okay to share that. But, you know, it only takes a little bit of strength is what I've learned. So we think that, okay, we're done. We're going to throw in the towel. We're not going to do this thing anymore. I would encourage you just to take up that little bit of strength and just take one step at a time, one step in front of you. And sooner or later, everything will come and meet you again. So what I'm seeing here is like a flame on a candle. And so the flame seems to be kind of dwindling. And that's sometimes our energy. It starts to feel like we don't have anything left in us to keep going. And so what I'm seeing here is someone kind of like covering or you know, protecting the flame from the wind. And so maybe the wind is blowing way too hard and it's going to blow out that flame. There's a little bit of protection you can give yourself, but allow yourself still to shine, to burn, to illuminate. So put a little bit of protection there, and sooner you will see that as long as you let it keep burning, it'll eventually pick up again. You know, it'll eventually, you could eventually fan it in a certain way that it'll all of a sudden ignite to that big flame like you're used to on a candle. So that's what I'm seeing here. I'm really sensing that it's time for us to really recognize that it just takes a little bit here and there for us to move. We don't need to have everything perfect. We don't need to wait till the perfect time. The perfect time is now. We just need to take our small steps in the direction that is best for us. So really check in with yourself. What are you feeling? Feel that fully. We don't want to suppress anything. We don't want to deny anything. We want to move in the direction that our heart and our body is sensing us to do so. So that's what today's message is really about. It's about really just connecting to oneself and what's happening in this moment, okay? And for many of us, it can be a very hard year. Like some people have told me, it's been a very hard year. And sometimes it really requires us to let go of things in our life as we expand. So as you expand from that little tiny ball into, you know, that bigger ball, it requires you to let go of certain things to make space for new things that you never even imagined, much greater, grander things that are more aligned to who you are. You're not meant to stay the same the whole time. You're not meant to stay stagnant. You're meant to grow. And so it can be uncomfortable. You can even grieve parts of you that used to be as you welcome in new ones. But just don't stay stuck there. Use a little bit of strength to keep going. We don't need to stay stuck. We need to just keep moving one step at a time. So you will have that strength when you connect with your inner self. So I'm putting on a course called the Intuition Training. And the Intuition Training is a course that's really going to activate your intuitive ability. So it's going to be a course that you're going to immediately see the results in real time. It's a course that I would, you know, venture to say can change your life forever, because these are things that you're going to use for the rest of your life. And they're things that, you know, you connect with and you're going to move forward with. They're things that give you the next step. So if you're not connected with your intuition, if you're not connected with your inner self, you kind of lose even that little bit of strength, you know, until you connect with your inner self. You really feel kind of like a fish out of water, like you don't know what to do, and it feels like almost like you're suffocating. But when you connect with your inner self, you have that intuitive inner voice that's telling you to take that inner next step, and that next step, and that next step. And before you know it, you're going to end up somewhere totally different, totally more aligned to who you are. And it's almost like magic. So I have included different things in the community page. You can go check that out. But if you're interested in getting on the wait list for this program, you can email me at schoolofscarlet@gmail.com and I will get you on that wait list. I'm also doing a bonus where I'm giving you my newest journal, the Intuition Activator, for free. And I will mail this to you directly, and I will write a little paragraph in there and sign it for you. So if you're interested in that, please go ahead and email me now so that you can get on that wait list for when we start that program. So intuition is really something that you can connect with, that can help you to kind of fan that flame a little bit in the right and correct ways to get it to really, you know, take off once again. So if you feel like your flame is kind of dwindling, if it's kind of like weak right now, give it a little bit of protection, you know, feel those feelings out that you're feeling. Rest if you need to, but then get up and make sure that you're taking the steps forward and not staying stagnant or going back, because you're meant to expand. You're meant for greatness. You have a purpose in this life. You have a divine purpose that is being unfolded for you. And when you connect with your intuition, those next steps will appear in a way that will make a lot of sense to you, and you can take the next step. We never really know where we're going to end up, but believe me, there is a next step. And when you connect to your intuition, it appears and it feels right. So I hope that this message found you well. If it did, give me a thumbs up, a heart, comment down below. It really helps my channel. And if you're new here, thank you so much for being here. I hope that you will subscribe. I hope that you will come back for our next message. I love you all.